Hey guys, Always Help here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share with you guys my personal tips and settings that I adjust on my iPhones every time I get a new device in order to get all day battery life. And these are going to be very simple to do. These will of course help you get better battery on your iPhone and in most cases all day battery life. Now this one is running iOS 13.5, the latest Apple software. If you haven't updated, I highly recommend you update to iOS 13.5 because we've seen improvements in the battery department across the board on every single iPhone. So if you were having issues in the past, 13.5 may also help you improve the battery performance of your device. So let me show you some settings that I do adjust on my iPhones every time I set them up for the first time in order to get that better battery or all day battery life. Now the first thing you want to do is, for me, I don't use the custom Siri command, but this option here, listening for the Siri command, as you can see there, it's always off on my iPhone. And the reason is because this is constantly waiting for you to say the custom command. Therefore, the microphones are constantly listening for that command, which of course can drain the battery somewhat. So I never use that command. I just use the side button to invoke Siri if I need it. So if you don't use the custom command, you can turn off the Siri command right there under Siri settings. This will of course improve the battery performance. Now another great thing that I like to do is, personally, I like to update my books, my music, and my apps only when I'm home during Wi-Fi, right? I'm connected to Wi-Fi, I'm connected to a power source. So if we go under the App Store and app settings right here, iTunes settings, we have the automatic downloads. For music, I turn that off. For apps, I turn that off. For app updates, I turn it off, and books as well, and audiobooks. And the reason for that is because this will update whether you know it or not in the background. So again, it's constantly searching to update your apps, your music, and all of that without you even really realizing it. Now right here, automatic downloads over the cell connection, I turn that off as well because number one, if you have a data cap, this may push you over the data limit. And number two, of course, once again, it will continue tracking even if you're not connected to Wi-Fi, and it will just drain your battery very quickly. Now another option that I always look at when I set up my iPhones is I go into my apps list here for background app refresh. And of course this means that the apps will be refreshing in the background constantly. You have two options to go with here: over the cell connection and Wi-Fi, or turn it off altogether. What I like to personally do is go with Wi-Fi only, or just search through individual applications and toggle these off individually. I don't need every single app to be refreshing in the background, so whichever apps you don't want to use or run in the background, in order to save battery, just go ahead and turn it off, and this way the app will only refresh when you launch it. So you have several options here. You can turn it off. Wi-Fi only is also a great option, and a Wi-Fi and cell option can be also a great option if you turn individual apps off as well. And last but not least, I want to talk about privacy settings. In here, there's also a ton of options that you can turn off in order to improve the user experience, number one, and the battery performance on your iPhone. So we go to system services here, and you scroll all the way down. Options that I always say to turn off, if you didn't even know this exists, right here, significant location. This will track your location everywhere you go in order to give you significant locations of places that you go to. So you see here, I have it turned off. I cleared my history. My iPhone is not constantly tracking me or using GPS, which of course it drains the battery as well. And right down here, this product improvement, this is for Apple Maps. So if you don't use Apple Maps and you use a third party like Google Maps or Waze or whatever it is that you use for GPS, then you can turn all of these off. iPhone analytics, popular near me, or routing and traffic as well. This of course is constantly tracking on your iPhone to improve Apple Maps as well as your GPS and other services as well on the iPhone, but I definitely turn those off every time I set up my iPhone. So these are just a few settings that I normally just go straight to them and turn them off when I set up a new device. But again, iOS 13.5 has been a great software overall in terms of performance. So if you just switch a few of those off, I'm pretty sure you're going to get extremely amazing battery life on your device. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you real soon. Peace.